if I really didn't know how to do something, I would probably say I don't know how to do it. Like, because I remember even during uni, like when I was applying for freaking casual restaurant jobs, like I remember getting, an email from the freaking restaurant saying like, oh, yeah, we took a look at your resume, but what we need you to do is like learn how to carry 3 plates. Like, can you carry 3 plates?
That was epic.
Yeah.
Okay,
No, like, I can't carry 3 plates.
I have to tell you story. I'm gonna get a bunch.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Outsiders podcast, episode 9. One episode away from episode 10. You know what I mean? Building, creating, innovating.
Oh, what? That was unexpected. Innovating, elevating. Can't do that shit,
Yeah,
man. Don't make me do this.
Yeah.
Good, man. Good catching up as always. As you guys know, every single weekend we try to catch up during Sundays, just giving you guys some updates of our lives as graduates, as Babyface is getting into like the work, the work stream and everything.
Yeah.
Alan is doing architecture. I'm a graduate in Mechanical and Aerospace Engineering. So yeah, let's get on to it. Any highlights this week? Did you have any highlights at all this week?
Man, this week there's quite a lot of things happen, man. Just small things here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, music wise, like I mentioned before, like I was trying to do like a 5-song EP this year.
Yeah.
So like I was talking to the engineer guy, like the sound engineer that was doing all my stuff. So he sent me an email saying like, it's finished. So he sent me all the songs and stuff like that, and I listened to them, but it's like we're still in that phase of like trying to perfect things, trying to adjust what still needs changes. So I sent him back an email with the changes.
Is he fixing up like 5 songs like straight away, or he's fixing one by one?
Oh, he did. First he did as a test. I sent him one song. Like I sent him the first song.
Try.
I was like, okay, let's see what how good he is or whatever. So after he sent the first one, he sent it back, and I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, this guy's pretty good. So then I sent him the remaining 4.
Mm-hmm.
So now when he did it, he just sent me all the 4 at once, and he's like, yeah, okay, this is the product or whatever. Let me know if you want changes. So I was like, yeah, okay, I want you to change this. So
nice. Is it good?
Now. Man, it's getting there. I wouldn't say I'm a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to this. Like if it doesn't sound exactly the way I want, I'm like, nah. So I wouldn't say I'm completely satisfied
it's a bit
yet,
shit, but yeah.
A little bit trash. So I was like,
no, I mean, that's what it's gonna take, dude. Like, it's gonna take you so many like people like messaging, DMing people. Like, I mean, you're really lucky if the first person that you actually come across gives you the song, like gives you the style that you're after.
Yeah. Nah, man, it wasn't easy though, because in the beginning it was like, it wasn't perfect the first time. Like I still had to make changes. Like he sent the song, and I remember there was auto tune in there and stuff. And man, I was sounding like T-Pain, man, sounding like freaking Future or something. And I was like, nah, man, I want to sound more natural. So I was like, yeah, take the auto tune off. So we had a few discussions like that. Yeah. But yeah, it's a process. Yeah.
I saw that Kendrick Lamar recently got a new song out with Is it good? Yeah, because you shared it on your story.
Yeah, dude, freaking flames, man. Yeah. So it's with this dude called Baby Keem. Mm-hmm. And the crazy thing is they're actually cousins. So Baby Keem is like,
oh dang,
his actual blood cousin that ended up also pursuing rap and stuff. So yeah, he just he featured on Baby Keem's song, and man, that just makes me so excited for the album because
he's teasing the album.
Yeah, he's coming with so much aggression and so much like like you can tell that man, this guy's been working, like he's been getting ready for the next album.
Nice.
So yeah, man, it's pretty freaking cool.
Nice.
Like, especially if you listen to his verse. Yeah, I'm pretty excited for the album.
No, that's sick. And how's the weather in Toowoomba?
Man, weather's getting better, dude. Like,
I'm wearing a jacket. Did you end up buying a new jacket?
Nah. Don't need it.
Don't need it anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm starting to see like high 20-degree temperatures. So like,
okay.
Freaking, yeah, it's starting to change now. Getting warmer. So yeah, it's pretty cool in that sense.
No, that's good.
Yeah, I'm sure Brisbane's also the same.
Yeah, it's getting really warm. Like you're starting to see people already like just shorts, like like on thongs all the time.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. No, but it's good. It's good. I like when it gets warmer. It means Christmas is coming, so that is good.
And how's the situation there? Are people like wearing masks
fuck,
still? Or?
Dude, did you see that New South Wales is like 1,200 and something cases?
Dude, freaking hell.
A day, dude.
Yeah.
They're fucked. I feel so bad for them. Yeah. We're literally fighting in Brisbane. I know. I mean, but like we're talking crap. Like like. I don't know, but at least in Australia, it's just crazy for us. Like, at least here in Brisbane, like, one kid gets a case, like, he's test positive, and everyone is, like, full on lockdown and everything. We're talking, like, from 20 to 30 cases maximum here in Brisbane. Everyone is, like, full on security, like, not security, but, like, lockdown, quarantine, you know, like, everything. New South Wales, 1,200 and something cases, and at that point, is like, okay. Like, it's going way too quick. Like, it's at that point where literally it's everywhere at this point. People are probably not even getting tested enough. Like, that is just a number that is so inaccurate, but still.
Yeah, it's probably even more than that. And
like, for sure.
Community transmissions and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's freaking insane.
Yeah.
And,
feel bad for the Prime Minister. Not the Prime Minister, the Premier.
Yeah.
She's
that's probably the highest. That's the highest in Australia, right? Like, the New South Wales numbers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And in Melbourne, apparently, it's going into a lockdown again. Someone was telling me that apparently Melbourne has been in lockdown for 260 something days out of the 365 days a year.
Holy snap!
Yeah, dude.
Fuck! Like this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's insane, dude.
That's blows my mind. But yeah, I mean, this is a conversation that I was having with my housemate the other day. We went to watch Free Guy, amazing movie, 100% recommend. Actually, I'll get onto that. Yeah, Free Guy. It's a movie with Ryan Reynolds. I don't know if you've watched the trailer. Amazing movie. I'll get onto that movie a bit later. Yeah. But I was coming up from like the cinemas and I was having a chat with my housemate. Dude, we're so lucky here in Australia, especially Brisbane, Toowoomba. All these places are open, and like. Sometimes we literally hesitate so much to like go and grab a drink with someone, like catching up with someone at this restaurant or going out for a drink or like going out for a trip, like, and like there's literally so many places in lockdown and we right now have that freedom to do something, but we don't really do anything. Like we rather stay at home. It's so stupid.
Yeah, screw that. Like, especially when you have the chance to do it, like, yeah, just do it, man, because you see what happens when you don't have that situation, like you said, like freaking 200 days in lockdown for Melbourne, like that. Yeah,
that blows my mind.
So unfortunate, man.
And you know what the crazy thing is? I actually got a bit of a taste, like from that situation. Like, you know, one of my housemates was actually in contact tracing from UQ, so he was at the moment where one of the positive cases, like he was just basically hanging around in where my housemate was, and because he had to because he was a close contact, we all had to quarantine. We had to quarantine for a week, which is not much. It took them a week for them to figure out all the people that were in that building. So for us, it was only 1 week of quarantine. Yeah. But it was only a week of quarantine, but I was going nuts. Like literally, I'm literally that type of person where I cannot stay at home. Like it's just I don't know, man. Maybe I should have been, you know, like exercise or something, or like change my room or something, but it started to become like literally a nightmare, and I can only imagine Melbourne 200 something days.
Nah, man, it's crazy, man. Like it's I couldn't imagine it either. You probably I just don't know how to handle it. Like I guess people have support systems. They might have families around and stuff, so that might make things easier. But in our situation, like you know, or in situations where you wouldn't have a family, that would be pretty messed up to just be locked down for so long. But we're pretty lucky, man, over here. Like and even in Toowoomba, bro, like the most you hear is like, I think the most I've heard is like 1 or 2 cases, but then they always end up in the hospital and they end up you know, being isolated or whatever, so it doesn't spread. I mean, you know, the government is really trying to push for like 70% of the vaccine, like 70% vaccinated like capacity in Australia, like, and it's just we'll see what happens. But that's COVID wise. And any other highlights, any good stuff from work? Did something interesting happen at work? Any major highlights from work? Oh man, at work, man, for the first time I got into a situation where, or I was part of a situation where, because like when dealing with building, there's certain, based on the region or suburb you're building in, like there's certain ways your structures have to look,
right,
so that it blends in with the neighboring suburbs, right? So if you're building a house in a kind of suburban area, you're not gonna, like, a lot of times you're not gonna come up with a wacky design in a house, like a crazy design that's like completely over the top, because it doesn't. It takes a lot to be approved and everything like this. Yeah. And a lot of times it won't be approved if it's too out there. So what happened was, like, for the first time, I witnessed a situation where the materials chosen for a few of the designs were not suitable for the region. So the council got back to us and they were like, "Oh yeah, we would go through with this, but then you just have to make sure the materials suit the region. So use these types of materials and remove those types of materials." So they're just giving us a list, basically. So that was the first time I kind of got to see how they would find a solution for that. So it's basically about choosing the right materials so that it blends in with the suburb. So I was like, oh, okay. Because a lot of times, most of the houses just got approved. But this time it was like, oh, actually you're using this type of material and you can't really use this in this area. So it's kind of interesting.
Like no issues at all. Like no problems, like major.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was pretty major, because what that does is it changes the costs now. Like, because you might have budgeted, you might have thought the house would cost this much with all these materials. Yeah. But then it's like, nah, you got to remove that and replace it with something that's suitable. And you have to do that for 6 houses or whatever. So like you have that increases the overall price. So, and the overall cost. So obviously, the business can get a bit affected by that cost wise. But so it's more of a cost thing. We're just trying to keep it low and yeah. And how about yourself?
I came across this video, this TED talk by this lady called, I'll give you the name of that person. Her name is, I think it's Lera Boroditsky or something. I'm assuming she's a scientist or something. And I was watching this video about how she's done research. I mean, not necessarily her own research, but she's done research about how our language changes our perception of things. So like what she was essentially saying is that because like language is so into ourselves that it literally changes the way we perceive a situation, or we react to a particular event. And it was so interesting. Like she was saying that she was referring to this tribe in it's actually an Australian tribe. It's called like Kuke. What's the name of the tribe? Give me a sec. Let me actually bring up the facts, because I don't want to talk shit here. We don't talk shit on this podcast. We do facts only.
Yeah, we know
that's what we study for. That's what we study for.
Yeah, exactly. Facts. You only deal with the facts.
Give me a sec. Let me bring it up, because this is actually right. So it's a tribe called Kuke Thayor or something. So KWK space THAAY or ORRE. So Thayor or something. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce it, but she was saying that this tribe they like when instead of like referring to directions from like left or right, so like you turn left, you turn right, they refer to everything with cardinal directions. And in fact, they prefer like when they ask another person like how are you, they would say like, oh, I'm feeling literally this like north, like I'm feeling northwest, or like literally they refer to cardinals. Like it's a weird way of talking to each other, but it's just like the language itself is about like a cardinal positions, which is really bizarre. But what she was saying is that, okay, well, let's see if there's anything like how would they react if we, for example, so what they did, they had like these photos of someone that grew older, and they had to sort from younger to oldest. And what the tribe was doing, they sorted from youngest to oldest, depending on the position that they were like looking into the photos, and like depending on the sun. It's something weird. So like, if you're an English speaker, or I'd say the majority of people would sort from left to right, right? So like, there's a baby, then there's a kid, then blah blah blah. And maybe in Arabic they would sort it from right to left, because they're right from right to left, so they would do it like the other way. They would sort the ages depending on the location. So like time. So what she was saying is that time is fixed in the landscape, which is really interesting. Okay. And she was also saying, so she was saying that there were three things, like language changes our like perception of time. So in this case, what this tribe was like communicated, and like the way that the tribe saw time. And she was also saying that sensibility to color also changes perception. And she was saying that Russians apparently have more vocabulary to describe the color blue. Like, we would say light blue and dark blue, right? But in Russian, there's actually a very clear way of saying this type of blue and everything. And they started to test this like Russian speakers, and then they would see different ranges of the color blue, and they would get a physical reaction from them changing, as if it was a categorical difference between the colors. So it'd be like, oh wow. So it's like is these really tiny things like that you're like so it makes you react to an event in a different way. And there was this last one which I strongly relate to, and you probably relate to as well as a Portuguese speaker, and is that when we speak about things, like things have a gender, right? So the table, la mesa in Spanish, it's feminine. Like the car is masculine. So and just that gives you the sense of, like, you start to describe the thing as if it had masculine traits. So for example, if you ask an Italian describe the moon, they would say like, oh, the moon is beautiful, the moon is romantic, and that sort of stuff. Whereas someone else would say, oh, like neutral languages such as Mandarin, they would say like, oh, the moon is round, the moon is white in color. So it's a different way. So it makes you think, damn. So when you're actually having a conversation with someone, they would depend on what you like. They would react in a different way, just based on what the type of language, like literally the language that you speak, essentially. Yeah. So he's like,
right. Oh yeah, that's pretty interesting. Yeah. So and I react in a different way. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, that is very interesting. And
so
yeah, so like,
do you think it relates to the so let's say you'll react more towards your first language. Is that what it is? Like if you speak two languages, you'll have a way of reacting that's more towards your first language. Is that?
I mean, that's something that I was trying to think as well. Like, as we speak like two languages, right? So personally, I feel I'm thinking in Spanish most of the time, right? So I would definitely describe something in a different way compared to what would, for example, an Australian describe something else. Like, I feel like I could describe, I don't know, like this bottle of water in a different way. Like, or at least seeing, I mean, I'm describing the function of this, but within my brain, unconsciously, the bottle has masculine traits. So the bottle is something that I use for like to drink, and like it's like I would describe it in a very particular way, which I found really interesting.
Yeah, right.
And also, cool. Like in Mandarin, like they have like actions start. So they would say like, run, I was yesterday, or something. So like the action is the very first thing that you would like see in a sentence, and like in what that tells you is that the action itself is more relevant than the subject. So you get less information about the subject. It's not, you don't know if it's feminine or masculine, but still the action is more important. So you have a more objective view of a particular event, which is, wow, what the fuck? That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Like, whoa, yeah, okay. Yeah. No, it's really interesting. Yeah, just language structures in general. Yeah, and how it shapes us as people. Yeah, that's actually.
And it makes you feel, and I guess, like what I felt after watching that is that at the end of the day, I feel like if you speak more languages, you feel more understanding of people. Like you perceive things in a different way. Like it broadens your view of problems.
Yeah, of course. Like, and it's beneficial in so many ways. Like socially as well. Like you can connect deeper with someone if you can speak their language. Like you can. It's just opens a lot of doors, because a lot of times, it just makes people go like, oh, Like it's just, it's an impressive kind of trait to have. And yeah, a lot of times if people have trouble speaking English, for example, but they speak another language, if you could speak that other language, yeah, it makes things really
exactly.
easier.
And also, even if you don't speak it that well, like just if you know a couple of sentences, I'd be like, oh shit, like that is actually really nice for you to actually say it, like because you're like, oh, that's so cool. I can only imagine how many times you, for example, meet someone like, I don't know, like just random person, and you say like, and like at least it happens to me all the time that it sleeps that I sometimes sleep the fact that I can speak Spanish. So I can speak Spanish. Oh, and that's when everyone goes, oh, I can say blah, 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 buenos dias, hola amigo,
exactly.
and we're like, yeah,
exactly. Yeah, like oh, okay, yeah, like I speak Portuguese. Oh, obrigado. I'm like, oh yeah. Like that,
I mean, obviously, you get a bit too much of that sometimes because you're like, oh yeah, fuck, yeah, amigo, yeah, whatever.
But, amigo, yeah. No, but it's good. Yeah, it shows that they, at least they're making the effort, and yeah, it's a cool thing.
But
yeah.
What I think I had something else as well, like another highlight. Wait, where is this?
Do you have anything work wise or nothing too special?
Well, like something that I was thinking. I work for a relatively small company, right? So it feels like sometimes I'm given a task and I sort of have to put pressure on them for them to give me more responsibility. Like I feel like I need to be too much out there. I mean not that it's bad or anything, but I feel like sometimes I have to like literally say give me something to do sometimes, like for me to like broaden like my responsibility. I like responsibility. But it's not something like it's something that you have to work on, which is fair enough. Like it happened at Kmart as well. Like I wouldn't be working at the service desk or doing backfill or whatever if I didn't step forward and say like, "Hey, I want to do this."
Yeah, exactly.
Because otherwise, you just stay in the same point and like you don't do like you stay up doing the same task over and over. You just get bored of it. So I guess like something that happened this week was like, oh, okay, like I'm starting to see that I have a bit more time in the days that I'm not on site. Because I have to go inside and like sometimes I get to work from home. Whilst I'm at home, I could literally do some software or something like design work or something, but they wouldn't really give me the software to actually get started on the thing. So I was like, okay, like I can do this. Like let me actually say, okay, like I want to do it, but I need to actually like take action and like literally give them a call. Hey, like taking action is what.
A lot of times you have to do that, man. And same, even with me, like sometimes. It might get to a point where it's not as busy. Like there's not maybe that urgency to get the drawings done. Super fast or whatever. So you finish what you have to do, and then it's like, oh, so what do I do now, kind of thing. So yeah, it's just I kind of witnessed the same where it's like, yeah, you kind of have to, step out of your zone in a way and just be like, hey, like, is there any other tasks that can be done that I can help with? And because like you said, man, if you don't do anything, you might just sit without doing anything, or you just don't.
There's no no way for you to go like higher up if you don't ask like for more tasks, or for more responsibility, or like for you to get exposed to an environment where you have to learn. Even if, dude, honestly, even if you don't know much about it, like, I can do it. Like I remember I came on, like, oh, can you do it? Like. I wouldn't really know how to do a specific shift. Like, oh, can you do service desk? I wouldn't have a shit clue of how to do service desk. But I'd be like, yeah, sure. And like I would start the service desk, and like from the stress and not knowing anything, like I would actually learn stuff like in a matter of like a couple of days, like a week or something. But it was me actively taking the effort of, hey, I can do this. Give me this. Yeah. Even if I didn't really know.
Yeah, that's so true, man. And like even for me, like in a lot of ways, because I had phases where if I really didn't know how to do something, I would probably say I don't know how to do it. Like, because I remember even during uni, like when I was applying for freaking casual restaurant jobs, like I remember getting an email from the freaking restaurant saying like, oh yeah, we took a look at your resume, but what we need you to do is like learn how to carry 3 plates. Like, can you carry 3 plates?
That was epic. Okay,
I was like, nah, I can't carry 3 plates.
I have to tell you story. So freaking Alan, dude.
All right.
Oh my god. Alan is struggling so much to get work. Like, Alan has been applying to so many places. Alan has been applying consistently every single day, handing his resume. And literally, when he sees an opportunity comes in at a really fancy restaurant in one of the top places that you could, like, it's South Bank in Brisbane.
South Bank.
So there's like the nicest restaurants there, and the only question that literally Alan got out of the interview was like, "Oh, can you carry 3 plates?" What was Alan's answer? No, I don't know how to carry 3 plates. He did not get the job. I can't carry 3 plates. So obviously, I'm like, mate, come on. I can carry 10 plates with one hand. One hand.
One finger. Yeah.
Oh, dude, they call me old plates. Old plates. I'm like, I can carry it. I don't know, it's something. Just lie. Sometimes, like, literally, sometimes that's all what it takes. Like, just literally say yes. Can you do this? Yes. Say yes. You'll figure it out later. There's like... I mean, unless you're a surgeon, or like unless you're doing heart surgery, or like you have to manage a bridge or something, where like you generally need to know about the task. Okay, then that's fair enough. But if you fucking carry 3 plates or like anything, like just fucking say it. Or
and the crazy thing was, after I sent that email, like, nah, I can't do it. Like, actually YouTubed it. Yeah. How to do it, and then it's actually pretty easy to do. Like, I did it. You kind of put one in your palm, one in your...
Oh, dude, you ended up...
Yeah, I did it, yeah. And I was like, oh, yeah, I can carry 3 plates, but I guess it's too late now, but yeah.
Hey, man, YouTube, surely, man. Surely YouTube has something to say about carrying 3 plates.
How to carry 3 plates, yeah, so... But it was, so that was that. But then now that I'm in this job, now I'm like, now I actually am putting myself out there and asking the questions too, because I remember there was one thing they were talking about this specific house, and then they were like, they're looking at the detailed drawings. So a detailed drawing is basically a zoom in into how the house is going to be built. So you see all the materials, like maybe you see the steel and like the nail, like the bolts that go into the steel, and the like everything that makes the house stand.
Yep.
And so I remember, man, that conversation, it was a conversation between, the higher ups, just talking about all the pieces that go into it. And man, I heard so many words that I never heard, like, in my life, bro. Like, I was like, what the heck is this? What the heck is that?
Yeah.
Like, just small
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, but then I was like, dang, like, what is that? So then I had to put myself out there in that position of not knowing, but then doing that actually made me learn. And I was like, okay. Like,
dude,
I came out of learning. So
I'd work with engineering, that I get that all the time. Hey, can you bring up the TX1 to T2 so our RWT3 gets into it? And I'm like, what the fuck is all of this?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, like, it's, I mean, people say ask as much as you can, but at the same time, if you ask too much, it's bad. Like, people normally say, oh, if you don't know anything, just ask. But okay, realistically, if you ask way too many questions, you're going to end up pissing your boss. And you're going to come across as someone, like, you're devaluating yourself every time that you ask, because it shows that you don't know anything then.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, to some degree, obviously.
There's a balance. Yeah, there's a balance for sure. Because, what I see is, being the youngest, they'll probably look at you like, oh, let me show you the ropes. Because I've been doing this for a while, so let me, like, if you have a question, ask. But then obviously, you don't want to ask too much, because you seem, you're like, dang, did you actually learn anything?
Exactly,
it's a balance,
when it comes to work, and I mean, for example, if someone is studying or something, that doesn't really, I wouldn't say that really applies much, because like, I think you can, when you're studying, you're in that environment where you can ask as many questions as you want, and that's totally fine. Like, there's no like, like, it wouldn't backfire if you ask too many questions. But I feel like when you're at work, it's definitely a different story, and you don't really get to see that unless you actually start working. You're devaluating pretty much every time. You ask too many questions. Too many questions.
Yeah, they need to be. I feel like they need to be like well thought out questions. It can't just be any.
They have to be genuine questions, and like questions that you've thought up. Like, and if you ask a question, it'd be something like, oh, I know that this, like, you would say like, oh, I know that this and that, but I don't know what it is. Like, do you like show some degree of understanding, and then ask the question. That's what I noticed recently. Because otherwise, you'd be like. But yeah, man, that work life, man. Oh,
yeah.
Pretty happy I'm not going back to study ever again in my life, though. So glad I'm never going to study again. Like, that life is over.
So you decided, nothing, not even masters or
nothing. Nah.
Nah. Screw that. I'm probably gonna go back after some years, but anyway, that's my journey.
We went with Nadim, a very good friend of ours, Nadim. I sent him a message to see if he was up for lunch, like he wanted to go somewhere for lunch. We ended up to the shops in St. Lucia, and we got because he has a lot of I didn't know this, but he has a lot of friends from college in King's. Okay. So I was like, dude, like it'll be really nice if we go to like King's College, and like because I've never been to King's College, I want to have a look how it is.
Yeah.
And dude, I didn't know this, and literally King's is renting the houses in front of the college. So the people were living not in college, but in front of the houses, but still being part of the college, if that makes sense. Do you see what I'm trying to say? So
it's a separate house, but like away from
it's literally a house.
But it's still...
it's literally a normal house, but it's part of the college. But anyway, this dude, like talking about like all the masters things and like going back to study. This dude started working from he's in King's. And he was doing his masters. He was in for 5 weeks, but he recently dropped out because he was like, nah, man, I'm not doing this shit. I'm not trying to say like obviously anything bad to you, obviously, because if you want to do masters, obviously up to you. But he was like, nah, man, a master is definitely not the way for me. He was doing business. Obviously, for architecture, might be different.
Yeah, way different, man. Because the thing is, with architecture, like you kind of have to do it if you want to be, if your goal is to become a registered architect. Like, so basically, you do the bachelor's, then. Like to get the registered status, you have to do the bachelor's, do the master's, and then after master's you have to pass a certain exam. After passing that exam, you also need to have a certain number of years experience in an architecture firm. And then after that, now you can call yourself a registered architect and maybe start your own architecture firm or whatever. But if you don't, you can't do that. So it's like you're not registered, so they can't really trust you that much to make a full design by yourself. I feel like that's what it is, because you don't have all the tools yet. So I think it feels like that, you definitely have to go through that, especially here in Australia. So that's the thing. And
what did you get up during the weekend? Did you do anything yesterday?
Oh man, yes, I did. I got a bit of a group here now, like people I know. So man, went to this place called went out. Yeah, and man, it was pretty cool, man. Like a lot of things happened. So I might even cut this out, bro.
Okay. I might cut this just out, fucking say it. Whatever. Anyway. Who cares?
Yes.
Who cares? Who cares, Mom? I'll as Mom, with all due respect. I'm just kidding.
I love you, Mom.
I love you. Yeah, whatever.
So I basically, I got in there, and I was already, I may have been messaging
I may have been
messaging a young lady, and then she said she was gonna go out as well, like with a friend of hers.
Okay.
So she was like, do you want to come? And I was like, yeah, I want to come.
Oh, she asked you out.
Well, okay, it basically ended up being that, but at first it was more like I said, oh, I'm thinking of going out as well, like, because I was gonna...
Oh, right, so she was going out, you were going out, and then...
Yeah, so she was telling me that, I'm going out. Then I was like, I was thinking the same, so maybe we could, like, meet up and stuff. Mm-hmm. And then, because I thought I was gonna go out with, the IES brother that moved here. Yeah. But he ended up saying, like, last minute, like, oh, I'm actually in Brisbane, man. I went for a friend's birthday. I'm like, damn. I'm like, okay. So, but the thing is, I already knew some other guys also that I usually bump into, and I'm there. So I messaged him. I was like, oh, are you going? Then he's like, yeah, I'm going to be out and stuff. So I ended up meeting them. But then, I got to the club, and then, at first I didn't meet up with this specific lady. Yeah. this specific chick or whatever. Then so I was just dancing, and then
this specific lady.
Yeah, we'll keep it a PC, guys.
Yeah, right.
But anyway, so I didn't read it. So then, what happened was like, you're in the dance floor and stuff. So then there was this, this blonde chick and a brunette chick. Like the brunette was dancing with some other dude. So yeah, that one was by herself. So I was like,
that's when you go. That's the moment. Like when you when you see that, that is like finding gold when someone is dancing. And like when the friend and you can clearly tell, and it's just so fucking stupid sometimes. Like a lot of the times the girl is like, "Oh, I'm dancing with this dude, but at the same time I'm with you, so don't worry about it." Bullshit. That chick is feeling like absolute crap. She wants to dance with someone else.
Exactly.
And probably she was okay. Then continue. What happened?
Yeah, she was clearly you could see she was dancing by herself. Like, and her friend was already with the dude and stuff. So I was like, put your hand out. So I was dancing with her, and then
classic. This is you. Alan is always like, every time that we go to the closet, that is Alan's move. Like literally, like with a bit of a tilt.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Classic.
Yeah, but it worked, man. So we're dancing and things, and then she was like, "Oh, I want to get a drink." So she went and got a drink, and
did you go with generous? Did you go with her?
Yeah.
Right.
I was feeling a bit generous. I was like,
bought her a drink.
I could get this round and stuff.
Yeah.
So I gave her, got her around and stuff. Then she's like, "Oh, thank you." Then at that point, bro, like out of nowhere, she just started making out.
Wait, can you repeat that again? It sounded a bit crackly. What did you say?
So I got her, I paid for a drink, and then she drank it. Yeah. Then out of nowhere, she just started making out, like...
With you?
Yeah.
Oh.
First chicken to my boy.
Nice word, yeah! Took out the Toowoomba virginity. Took out the Toowoomba virginity.
I'm not a Toowoomba virgin anymore.
Nice.
Man, that happened. I was like, "Oh."
Was she the blonde one or the brunette one?
Yeah, the blonde one, man. And she's actually pretty cute. But then she said, "I'm just here." I don't know if she's telling the truth, if she's lying or not. But she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm just here for the weekend. I'm going back to the Gold Coast like tomorrow."
Oh.
And I was like, "Oh, okay." So yeah, just kept dancing, and that was that. And then after that, we kind of went back to the same group. Like, so it's just me, her, and then the other chick and the other dude. And I was talking to the dude, and he was like, I was like, "Oh, so is this your girl or something?" And he's like, "Nah, man, I just met her tonight, bro." So he had met her at the same time, and so I was like, "Oh, okay, this is cool." But then afterwards, they basically just left. I guess they weren't feeling the vibes anymore.
The vibes.
Yeah, they went to, I don't know if they went home or they went wherever, but that's what happened. And then, so that was that. But then,
nice.
Yeah.
No, man, I'm so happy. Fuck yeah. Nah, man.
I'm back in the game. Back in the game.
Surely you got some details. Surely, hey, like I know that you have to go, but hey, come on, don't leave me don't leave me hanging. Come on, just
don't leave me with nothing. Yeah, nah, man.
I'm getting a car soon. I could drive down to the Gold Coast and maybe we could just
exactly. So I got her Instagram and
right.
Yeah, it was such a eventful night, man. I met so many new people. Also met met a curly haired chick as well.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, yeah, man, she's pretty cute, man. So, yeah, I got a few Instagrams.
Nice. Alan has a thing for girls with curly hair. Like, super curly hair, like
really curly. Yeah.
Like I can recognize them. I'm like, hey, dude, like this is your type. Look, check out your type. Nice.
And then Julio's an eye guy. He loves the blue eyes.
Yeah, man. That's fuck my weakness. I can't do anything. I don't know. I feel like everything. I think it's a thing. Every girl that I've dated had colored eyes. Like back in Colombia and here in Australia, they all had like colored eyes. I don't mind if it's like green, blue, or whatever. But like having some color is definitely pretty attractive. It's like, oh shit, I noticed the eye color. Yeah. But
but even for me, the curly hair is definitely a standout. I'm like, But I mean, I've been with people that are all kinds of backgrounds, so it's not necessarily like only this, but
no, it changes as well. It changes as well.
But yeah, man, something else, bro. Like recently, I've been just trying to get the advertising up. So yeah, just sending messages to some of the our friends and all this. Yeah, letting them know about the podcast. So I actually talked to the Mexican brother. Yeah, the Mexican IES. Yeah. And I talked to him about it, and he was like, "Oh, nice, man. Yeah, I'll definitely support. I'll definitely subscribe." And then he's like, "Oh, I always wanted to do something like this." Like, yeah, it was like he sent a voice message, and he's like, "Oh, I always wanted to do something like that." But yeah, man, I'll definitely support you guys. And then he was like, "Let me stop drinking first, and then I'll subscribe."
He said.
Yeah. So yeah, he's probably having a good time right now. But yeah,
man's a legend.
Yeah.
Shout out. He knows. He's gonna see us.
Yeah.
Big shout out.
So,
nah, man, that's good. I hope he's doing well. He's really like business person. Like he's really into his business.
Yeah.
Like I share that side low key with him. You know, like I think I'm low key an entrepreneur. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So, yeah.
And also.
Yeah, especially.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, what about your classes? Is still driving?
Man, still driving, bro. And
Alan Hamilton already F1.
Yeah, Mr. Hamilton, man, catch me on the Formula One tracks.
catch me, man, later on, man, in Formula One.
Catch me on Formula One driving 40 kilometers an hour. I'm too scared to go too fast, but nah, it was pretty cool, man. Because the driver actually said that, like, as I was driving and stuff, like I'm getting the hang of it, and the driver was like, "Wait, are you sure you didn't have any other lessons in between?" And I'm like, no, I haven't, like, because I've been doing one every week. And then he's like, "Man, yeah, I see the improvement," and he said he feels like it's starting to click now, like would be like when to change gears, when to go back to second gear, when to go back to first, when to change as well. Upwards. Like gear to gear, so yeah, I'm trying to get the hang of it, and yeah, it's been about 18 hours. So yeah, man, I still got a long way. Yeah, still got a long way, but yeah, no, that would be something to keep pursuing, and also the IES bro, he's gonna teach me as well because he has a car. So
yeah, that'll be good, man. Literally, I mean, every time, as much as like you're gonna see him very often. You're gonna see him very often, so like anytime, hey, can we go? I mean, if he picks you up, I mean, you're gonna hang out with him a lot. Yeah, and like they just say, hey, is it alright if I drive from here to here? I mean, with this thing, not necessarily you need to be driving. Like, I mean, it's not like you actually have to clock in this many hours. Like, you can be 100% legit and say like, hey, like I've done this many hours, but you can get around it. Like, apparently, that's what they say. Like, not necessarily you have to clock in, like. Like that specific hours, like it can be, it's like something more.
Yeah, I've even heard that as well, because especially if you don't live with your family and stuff, like there's exemptions. So yeah, I'll look into that, because that'll be pretty cool. Yeah, just cut down the hours and no, that's good, man. I feel like we should shall we wrap it up there? Yes, sir.
Yeah, as always. 40 minutes as always, man. That's a good time, man. I have this thing about 40, man. Fucking 40 is the way, man.
That's how it is, man.
But yeah, man, as always, amazing having a chat with you. I hope you guys like this podcast as well. Let us know if you guys would need any help at all or would like to see any content. We're the Outsiders, boys. We're the Outsiders with a C, man.
Thank you very much.
I wish I had a drink. I wish I had a drink with me, man. Fuck.
Yeah, man.
To show off. I actually have a cider on my fridge, but because I'm going drinking later on. So.
Oh yeah. So
but
you'll
as always, such a good time. We'll catch you guys later.
Yes. Always, my brother.